Hey cycling friends, James with Team Finish Strong here on a very warm Sunday afternoon to share with you some thoughts. I'm here on my way to a group ride, and I have to tell you, what a difference a new chain makes. Some of you may have been following how I've been having some troubles on Zwift, and just got a new chain installed yesterday. It's quiet as a mouse, not acting up at all. So very happy about that, and hopefully I'll be able to get back into the swing of things. And the question I want to ask today is, what do you think is the most dangerous sin? Perhaps, maybe murder, right? Comes to mind first. Or some other violent crime. Certainly these are the most dangerous sins, right? It's not what you might think, however. The most dangerous sin is the one that keeps you separated from God. And while it's true, violent crimes and other types of criminal offenses that come quickly to mind separate us from God, there's one sin in particular that inoculates us to the gospel. Inoculates us. That's what I said. This sin that I'm thinking of inoculates us to the gospel because it prevents us from seeing our need for the gospel. And what is the gospel? The gospel is the truth that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and that by grace we are saved through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast. We're saved through the finished work of Jesus on the cross. That's the gospel. So what inoculates us against that? Well, it's the sin of pride. How does pride do that? Well, I'm not talking about the kind of pride one has when your child graduates from high school, like mine just did the other day. That's not the kind of pride we're talking about. The kind of pride I'm talking about is a self-righteousness, a haughtiness that says, I have no need for God's grace. I'm right in and of myself. I'm good in and of myself. And it manifests itself in various ways. It could be the sense of one's own goodness, or looking down on others that have those more obvious sins, those that commit murder, those in prison for various offenses, those that are morally bankrupt. That kind of pride is harder to spot, isn't it? Because some of us probably have thought some of these same thoughts. It's easy to fall into pride. It's easy to fall into a thinking where we have to measure up, where our salvation is based on works. Or worse, that we've somehow arrived spiritually because of our works. That's a dangerous place to be in. Because when you think you've arrived spiritually and that your works have earned you a ticket to heaven, then when the gospel is presented to you, what does it mean to you? Does it mean anything? Do you have any need for it? See, that's the problem. Jesus confronted this problem of pride head on in Matthew 23. There were a couple of particular groups who had the corner on self-righteousness. The Pharisees, teachers of the law. And Jesus had his harshest words to say ever to any group of individuals when he spoke to these groups in Matthew 23, the 7 woes. And if you read it, Jesus condemns their attitudes. He doesn't go through a long list of criminal offenses, but heart attitudes that separate them from God. This is the danger of pride. So if you find yourself thinking that you've arrived spiritually, or perhaps maybe you found yourself condemning others that don't measure up, maybe it's time to do a pride check. Believe me, this is one health checkup you don't want to miss. Finish strong, and this is your thought for the week.